Welcome back to my channel and my Diaspora to Home series where we speak about all things Ghana property. So make sure you stay tuned because I'm about to have a great conversation with somebody in the Ghana real estate market. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and make sure you follow for more. Hey, so I'm here with Desmond from Beaufort Property, the head of marketing. I'm really excited to get into this conversation because we are here in a really great location where I can see a lake. We're here in the heart of East Legon.
Exactly.
Tell me about Beaufort Properties.
I mean, there are so many different things I can say, and it can take us on different tangents. But then basically, we have been in the space for at least a decade, so a little, over a decade. And we've done 10 projects in 10 years.
Okay.
And,
so one each year?
Well, more like, there are times when we try to pull more than one, and it's not, it's not the easiest thing to pull off.
I can imagine.
But then, because at the moment we have 2 projects ongoing concurrently.
Okay.
One is about, I'd say, 80% complete, and will be ready by middle of the year.
Okay.
And then there's another one in airport residential area.
Nice.
That is about, say, 40% or 45% complete.
Okay.
It's a 7-floor apartment, 36 units.
Nice.
And it's called Pinewood.
Pinewood.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
we're going to get into all of that.
There's a lot
to talk about. But what's your role?
All right. So as you rightly said, I'm the head of marketing. So I'm responsible for putting us out there.
Okay.
So if you've heard of Beaufort, you've seen an ad, you've seen a billboard, you've seen a social media post, or
you are the man.
More like, I'd like to just humbly say, we have. I mean, my hand is in there somewhere.
I see. Yeah. What else is your hand in? Tell me an interesting fact about yourself.
Well, I'm guilty of doing multiple things at the same time.
Like what?
So right here in Beaufort, even though I'm the head of marketing, I dabble a little bit in the tech side of things. I dabble a little bit in the administration side of things. Scouting locations for potential new projects and all that, and helping from the concept stage through to final delivery and all that. So beyond marketing, there's a lot that, it's like an octopus with tentacles spread around. So and I enjoy it because the goal at the end of the day is to grow, to be better, so that what we offer this year will be much better than what we offered last year.
Amazing. So what are the unique points that makes Beaufort stand out in the market? This is a very crowded market, especially in Accra.
Sure.
So what are some of the unique offerings that Beaufort provides?
Well, at the core, we are interested in delivering high quality properties, but then even preceding that would be our desire to give good value for money.
Okay.
Now, in whatever space you find us or whatever location you find us, whether East Legon, whether airport residential area, what we try to do is to price right.
Okay.
By pricing right, it helps us to appeal to the right client. Because when you compare all the different, prices and all that in East Legon, it can be, crazy.
Okay.
You're not on the market. It can be crazy.
Yeah.
So we try to price right.
Yeah.
So that whoever comes to us need not worry so much about, well, you're getting this too expensive and all that. Everything is priced right.
Okay, so tell me, what are those prices? I want to know. So a two-bed apartment, like we're here right now at the Riviera.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So on average, what are the prices like for? Let's give me a 1-bed, 2-bed, 3-bed scenario, for example.
Okay. So I'll give you the price of a 1-bed and a 3-bed.
Okay.
Because these are the units available.
Okay.
There's a 102 unit apartment. It's in 2 phases. Phase 1, phase 2, and then we have phase 3 coming up. That's about 80% complete. But then available in Riviera phase 1 and 2, we have a 1-bed unit available. That's going for about $165,000.
Okay.
And then we have a 3-bedroom unit available. That is going for about $325,000.
Okay. So 1-bed for $165,000.
Yes.
And a 3-bed for $325,000.
25. Yes.
What are the unique things about Riviera? What can somebody expect?
Okay. So I would not limit the uniqueness to just Riviera. it cuts across all our projects. Now, we try to give our clients a lot of comfort, refined living experience, and we achieve this through mixed-use communities.
Okay, so tell me about the mixed use.
Yes. So here in Riviera,
Yeah.
Beyond just a roof over your head, there's a gym, there's a pool, and these are standard. There's a play area, green area at the back, and we're pitched right on the banks of this man-made lake, which gives the place a very scenic view. Now, beyond these also, there's a pharmacy, there's an ice cream shop, there's a butcher shop and a wine shop, and then there's a bistro or a cafe. So early morning, you hit the gym, go grab a cup of coffee, grab lunch, whatever, have friends over, go grab an ice cream on a hot day. If you have a headache, just go into the pharmacy.
I love that.
And if you need to cook some steak, there's a butcher shop right here, and you can have some good wine to go with.
Everything is there. So I mean, if you were going to the cafe to get something to eat, what would be the go-to meal?
Well, I would, because I'm quite busy and I move around a lot, I'd probably get maybe a chicken wrap with some pineapple juice and some water to just cool things down.
Cool it down, yes. I mean, I'm a pineapple person, but pineapple mixed with ginger. That's my go-to.
All right.
That's my go-to. I love that.
Yeah, that's good.
So with, this is Riviera we've spoken about, right? Riviera has been a project that's been established for, I mean, I remember coming to see Riviera when, it first launched.
Yes.
And that was about 4 years ago or so.
Yes.
And just tell me a little bit now about the average person that you'll find in some of your properties. Because, then they were attracting a lot of the diaspora community.
Yes.
Right? So tell me about who are the average people that will come and stay in a place like this?
Okay. Specifically, even to East Legon, because the response I can give you for a place like Airport Residential will vary a little bit. I mean, it's location, dependent.
Yeah.
So here in East Legon, here at Riviera Residences, we have a mix. We have owner-occupied units, and we also have long stays, people renting for long periods, and we also have people renting for short stays. And we're just wrapping up the holiday season, so we still have a few people who came in.
And they're still staying. That's so funny. When I stay around Christmas, and let's say where we're at right now at this time of the month, people say, "Oh, Lorraine, you're still here." Like, why is it a case where there is an end date for people to leave Ghana? Like, what is the case?
For a lot of people coming in, there is life to go back to.
Yeah, that's true.
And for a lot of those in diaspora, I mean, sometimes they use Ghana as a stopover or vacation, hotspot, or take a break from active life and all that. Exactly. So it is just normal to come, chill, cool down, and then go back.
It's like people want me to go back. They're just like, Lorraine, why are you still here?
You should stay.
Exactly.
Because it's all chill here.
Yeah,
it's
true.
Really, the vibe here is really calm, very relaxed. There's a lot of work to do, but then there's a lot of things to do to relax and cool down as well.
So let's talk about that. So why is Ghana a good place to invest when it comes to property?
Well, there are many good reasons. First of all, you need a very good climate, as in climate. I'm talking about the weather. The weather is good, all right, but then politically, you need a very stable climate. You need a very investable climate. And you need a place where you know very well that the laws will protect you, the systems are right to guard your investments and all that. So we have very investor-friendly climate here. We have a very robust and growing real estate industry as well. And not just real estate, but other industries as well that are supporting the space. They're growing as well. And the rate of growth is impressive. I mean, it's not all rosy. We know that, but then it's not bad as well.
What are the sides of the things that are not rosy? Because I think it's important for people to understand the good side, but also the bad side. So what things are not rosy?
Well, I keep saying because we need to create a very good contrast between what is right and what isn't too good. So one of the things that serves as a major hurdle is the red tape and bureaucracy. Getting things done in Ghana is not always straightforward. For example, buying land is not a very straightforward process. And even after you've got your documents and all that, you need to keep a close eye on your land. And when it comes to buying an apartment, financing is a major issue to deal with, whether you're self-financing or you're taking a mortgage. And regardless of the payment plan you take, you need to make sure that you're sticking to the payments, all the checks that have to be done before you qualify for a mortgage. So the processes could be simplified, and I believe that if the processes are more, accessible, I would say, and simplified, a lot of people will have it even easier to invest in Ghana.
Okay.
Yes.
I think it comes down to something that people always say is like access to data, access to information as well.
That's true.
So if that information was easily accessible, it would just make people's lives easier.
Very true.
So you spoke about financing. So when it comes to Beaufort and your various properties, typically what are the finance options that somebody has when they're looking to buy property from you guys?
So we give room for flexibility, and our goal is not necessarily to come up with terms that satisfy us, but then are not unfavorable to the client. So we make room for self-financing. So you can pay yourself. We can discuss a term with you. You want to do it over 12 months, you want to do it over 6 months.
Can I move in that period?
Yes. So it depends on the arrangement we have with you. Now, just I'll come back to this question, but then just to sidetrack and give you a classic example. So we have a young couple that bought in phase 3 of Riviera, and based on our relationship with them, we offer them a special deal where instead of paying within maybe 12 months, we give them a 5-year payment plan. So the arrangement was for them to pay half upfront, and then they can spread the rest over 5 years.
Nice.
That way they can move in, enjoy their space and all that, and then also, we give them time to finish paying.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay. So somebody could technically pay 50%, and they can spread the rest of they can maybe rent it out, and maybe do a share maybe on the rental income to actually pay the balance over that period of time. Maybe. And what happens at the end of the 5 years if you don't pay?
Well,
you reclaim.
The agreement is there. I mean, all the points, the conditions, terms laid out. So we have made arrangements for defaults as well.
So you want to put it in the person's name until the end of the 5 years?
Exactly, it's in our name. Okay. But then you have access to the property.
Okay, fine.
Yes, you have access to the property.
So it's almost like a shared ownership type structure in some way.
In a certain sense, too, it's more like a rent to own.
A rent to own.
Pay half, and then the rest is more like a rent to own structure. And coming back to the question you asked earlier about payments, we also engage the major mortgage providers in the country, whether you're Stanbic, Republic, all that. But then we also are not limited to just these banks. If you're already banking with someone you're comfortable with, you can we can speak with them and then come up with an arrangement. Like right now, still on payments, we are adoring this structure which enables clients to pay a single-digit mortgage. We know right now, mortgage rates in Ghana is just crazy. The dollar rate is just like about 13%, and we don't even want to go to the CD rates and all that. So if you're doing a dollar mortgage, instead of paying 13%, we offer you 9.9% for the first 2 years.
Your boss told me about this.
So we absorb the first 2 years to make it easier on you, and then you can pick up from after the 2 years.
So it's 9.9.
9.9.
Okay, I thought it was slightly less, but if it's 9.9, okay. And then the idea is I speak to a lot of the Diaspora community, especially because I am a broker to a number of the mortgage companies. So people are always they're shocked that they even have mortgages existing in Ghana that facilitates people that are outside to actually get onto the property ladder. So I do, often ask people, anybody that's interested in purchasing a property in Ghana, feel free, they can reach out to me and I can connect them to those banks.
That's good.
But one thing that I always get asked is, whoa, the interest rate is really high, 13%, etc. So hearing about the option here of it being just about into the single digit number, right, is, could help people. And I normally tell people that mortgages is a great way just to start, right? And if you can get access to cheaper debt outside of the country, refinance later on, then I would highly recommend they do that.
I agree.
You know, so that's something that I do recommend. So when it comes to one thing that I'm very big on is making sure that people have full transparency in terms of the costs of purchase, right? So if somebody was coming to buy, let's go to airport residential. You mentioned that you've got a property that you're developing, Pinewood Place.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Central Street.
Okay. In a prime location. Wow.
Very prime.
Yeah.
Very prime.
Let's talk about that actually. Tell me about the offering.
Okay.
And then let's go to my next question.
Okay. So Pinewood Place, actually we got back from there just about 3 or 4 hours ago. And the view, I mean, it's scenic. When we were on the lower floors, I mean, we knew the place was really, really good. But then now that we're on the 7th floor, we appreciate it even more because there is no building obstructing your view. So you can see the airport East Legon to Jolu to Ridge and all that very clearly. And it's really beautiful. It's a 7th floor, 36-unit apartment. And at the moment, we have just about 2 units left.
Nice.
And we sold more than 60% even before we broke ground.
Wow.
The design is really beautiful. You should see it. It's really beautiful.
What's the price point?
So at the moment, it's airport residential, we know. And I know there are projects there charging about $4,000, $4,200 per square meter. But then we are being careful to just go around 3,000.
So what does that look like for a 1-bed or 3-bed?
So a 1-bed in airport residential in our project will set you back around 189,000. And it depends on the floor as well and availability. And then a 2-bed goes, for about 250 and all that. But then don't worry too much about the pricing because even in airport residential, we are certain to give you the best price. And we're not trying to price competitively. We're just trying to price right. Yes.
Fine.
So
pricing right is really, really important. Location is great. You mentioned before when we spoke, when I asked you the question about the typical buyers that buy in Riviera, you said it's different to somewhere like airport residential. So who will be the typical person that will go to somewhere like airport residential?
All right. So airport residential is more appealing to an investment buyer, primarily because of what it offers. When you look at the amenities and the kind of community vibe in airport residential, is different from what you have in East Legon. East Legon gives you more of a homey feel, where you would probably not, you're likely to be in East Legon for a whole month and not even go outside of East Legon. I say this
all the time.
I mean, shopping, entertainment, food.
It's all here.
Everything is right here. But then airport residential is a little bit,
it's like in between.
So not everything is close by. But then the advantage definitely kicks in when you talk about the airport being just a few minutes away. And there's some really good high-end restaurants, fine dining spots in airport as well. And the lifestyle there is also just a little bit upscale compared to East Legon. So if you're an investment buyer, definitely look at airport residential area, but then do not discount East Legon because East Legon is where the vibe is, where the life is.
So we mentioned East Legon, we mentioned airport residentials. Where else would you recommend an investment buyer to buy?
Well, I would be, I can be biased and recommend the locations where we have projects. I can recommend East Legon, Ridge, airport residential area. We are coming up with something, another, second project in Ridge as well. We are considering Laboni. So we're not limited to, just the regular hotspots that we've worked in. But I would give two answers. First of all, if you're looking for an investment, look at two things. Look at places with good potential and also look at places which have proven growth. So with good, the places with a good potential, we are looking at people who are starting, who are yet to cut their teeth in the space and all that. So for those, you can look at land which is more affordable or properties that are more affordable, but then outside, on the outskirts of Accra and all that. But then if you have some, good money, some good change to invest, definitely the usual culprits, the East Legon, airport residential cantonments and all that.
Okay.
The prices may be high,
Yeah.
and you don't have to worry too much about starting from, let's say, more than $200,000. If you have $100,000, definitely you can start with a studio or one bed,
Yeah.
rent it out, get you good rental,
Yeah.
earnings, good
Yeah.
return on investment, and reinvest it.
Yeah.
And you can make a good output.
So on that point exactly, one of the things that I do is I have a Diaspora to Home program,
Great.
which is all about educating people that are in the diaspora to actually get onto the property ladder in Ghana and actually
Sure.
taking them through a 6-module process in order to find out, to make sure they're following the right steps in terms of key things, in terms of being able to get their property to a point where they buy it and they're able to now rent it out for rental yields.
Sure.
What would you say with some of your properties are the average rental yields? Let's say for a 1-bed, what would be the average rental yield and what is the kind of prices that you can rent for? Let's talk about the airport residential, let's compare it to East Legon.
Okay, so airport residential area, we can give you estimates because this is our first project in airport residential area. But then we have proven the market, and then we have been able to give at least 11%, year on year, return on investment, and this is very, very good. This is very decent, and it's real estate is a dollarized asset, so there is not likely to be a way you get it wrong, unless maybe you choose the wrong property, So a typical 1-bed here at Riviera will rent for about, based on the size, can rent for about $1,700 to $2,000 a month.
Wow. Okay.
And yes, and even though this is a 102 unit development, we are almost always not below 70% occupancy. Yes.
Okay. One thing I do tell people though, is I like the setup of this airport residential one because it's got the 36 units. I personally prefer smaller unit places because you're less likely to be in competition with other people that maybe want to put on Airbnb and things like that. So that's just a personal preference for me. But then some people like the community feel. They like to be in a place where there are loads of different apartments. You can go and knock on somebody else's door, go and pick some coffee or some tea. Do you know what I mean? And have that community, like you said here at Riviera, you've got the swimming pool, you've got the butcher, the restaurant, etc., etc. So there are different pros and cons depending on what people like. Now let's hear about the service charges. So if you were going to buy from any of your properties, what are on average the service charges?
Okay, so that also depends on the size of the property. If you're getting a studio or if you're getting, let's say, a 3-bed. So the service charges can range from anywhere from, let's say, $150 to about $200, $250. Depends. But then the average will hover around $180, $200.
Okay. These are important things that I always tell people to always make sure they look out for what some of these hidden, not hidden, but what some of these additional costs may be when you're factoring that into your yield calculations, you're factoring it into your purchasing costs, your finishing costs, all of that. These are important things to note. What other things do you think are important to note when people are looking to buy property?
I would say that it's good to work with someone who has a proven record, and the space is really busy right now with lots of new developers and people who have I wouldn't say have no experience, because that would be not right and not fair. But then there are a lot of projects going on concurrently right now. From the top of my head, I can count about 15 projects.
So many.
Just apartments.
We're
not even talking about gated communities and all that. So I would say that look for somebody who has a proven record. And somebody who keeps their word. And we haven't been in the space for 10 years. We've seen all kinds of people, all kinds of conditions and constraints and all that, and we're still here. And we're actually working on new projects to launch and all that. So definitely look for somebody who has a proven record, someone who's trustworthy, and someone who does what they say they will do. I mean, they give you exactly what they promise. It's really, really important because there is so much defaults, in the space, both on the side of developers and on the side of clients and all that. So definitely look for a trusted name.
A trusted name, and that is Beaufort essentially. When it comes to trusted name, with all of your previous developments, your reputation, you've delivered. We're in one of the apartments right now. What would you like to say to anybody watching that wants to contact you, that wants to find out about how they can purchase a property in Ghana, specifically with you guys?
Okay, so Yes, we're Beaufort Properties. We've been in space for a little over a decade. And I would say that we are not really technically we're a real estate company, but then before that we are a people company that happens to be in the real estate space. So we are really concerned about giving good value for money, good rental yield or investment yield, return on your investment. And also we're all about lifestyle.
Okay.
And so all our offerings and all that try to encapsulate all these values. So if you're interested in investing with us, why not? Absolutely. I will not try to be humble about it and say, oh, I mean, we're just in a space doing something and all that. No. We are about landmark projects. And all our projects, I mean, regardless of where you look at, when you look at Ridge, we were the first apartment complex, residential apartment complex in Ridge. And when you look around Ridge, once we, put up, that's Beaufort Ridge. Once that project came up, other projects started coming up. And when you look at Riviera residence here, we are pitched right by the lake, and it's not something, it's not a regular. So when we came up, lots of issues and all that, but then we overcame the hurdles, and we're here. So definitely we are a developer with a proven record, and our prices are right. And the returns on investments, the records are there for you to see.
Amazing.
So you can't go wrong with Beaufort Properties.
Amazing.
You can't go wrong.
And if you're interested in getting the property, do contact me and I'll put you in touch as well. And hopefully you can get a small discount.
Absolutely.
If you come in through Lorraine, so it's important to do. But thank you guys, and thank you, Desmond, as well, for spending time with me. It was really great to hear about your opportunities you have, especially for the diaspora when it comes to purchasing property in Ghana. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Keep watching us as we continue to unpack the Ghana real estate market on the Diaspora to Home series. Make sure you continue to stay tuned. Make sure if you haven't done, subscribe, follow, like, comment for more. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, I do hope you found this video useful. Now, if you're interested in finding out more about how to purchase property in Ghana and generate some rental returns from it, then do check out the link below to my free online masterclass, which takes you through my 10-step process to help you to get on the property ladder in Ghana and generate some rental returns from it as well. So don't delay, just click on the link below and I will see you in class. Now, if you haven't done so far already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Continue to like, follow, share, do all that good stuff, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.